Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all over the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. And this is our last live show of 2021. So this is our Christmas and holiday show this evening. And so we've got tons of callers on hold. We'll get to them in just a second, but I just wanted to show you something first. Angel Messages for Cats is available. It came out last week, you guys. It is so darling. If you're on YouTube, you can see these illustrations. And I think my illustrator, Roz, really outdid herself this time. So if you're a cat lover, look at this baby cat. Is he just the cutest thing? If you're a cat lover, if you're a parent or a grandparent, go ahead and go on AskJulieRyan.com/books. And there's a link there, or just go on Amazon and type in Julie Ryan Cats. And it comes up. And it's just darling. It's about teaching children of all ages, whether you're 4 or 40, about spirituality and life and death. And it's just magical, and it's absolutely darling. So if you have anybody on your list that can use angels and cats, please order it for them. You'll get it in a couple of days from Amazon. So I'm thrilled. It is the third in the series of the Angel Messages children's books. The first one was Angel Messages for Kids. Last year was Angel Messages for Dogs. And I got so much grief, you guys, from cat lovers saying, why did you do dogs first? I said, I don't know, I just did. And so that's for you cat lovers, Angel Messages for Cats. So get all three, and angelic attendants too while you're at it. All right, let's go to the phones. Our first caller is Marla Hughes, and I got to be on her show. Was it last week, Marla? A couple weeks ago.
Yes, it was.
Yes, and Marla has a show called Interviews with Innocence, and you are so remarkable as just a human. And I wanted to introduce you to everybody that listens to my show, because you're just an extraordinary woman. So tell us what makes you so extraordinary. No pressure there, but tell everybody about your background and why you started your show.
Yes. Well, Julie, first of all, I'm so honored to be on your show and talk about extraordinary. I wouldn't say that as you. But, yes, I started my path. I've worked with children my entire life in different capacities clinically at the transplant unit in a hospital in San Francisco. And I did some work with children who were experiencing either a medical issue, or a family member had a life-threatening disease, working with art and music therapy. But I really, what my biggest joy in life was and is becoming a mom and being a mother. And I have 3 children, and I just love children. And a little over 4 years ago, my 19-year-old son transitioned, and it was our path to the other side, and it just broke our family open. I have also 2 other children, twins, and they're only a year apart, so I had like this little preschool going. But after that happened, I just really searched my soul on what to do, and where, asking these questions like the ones that you answer, but where is he, and how did this happen, and all those things. And I was just, and I dove down the path like many do, with learning about all kinds of spiritual things. I really dove into near-death experiences and oh gosh, just everything. But what I was downloaded with, it was that I really wanted to help the children of the world, because I believe that are very young. Number one, they bring so much wisdom to us that many times seems to be unvalidated, not because anyone's being, mean or anything, but just if we would listen more closely, and also to celebrate with them that life is eternal, just like the books that you write, that there is this beautiful soul that is eternal, and the importance of signs and synchronicities and the golden rule. And I just envision, a caregiver or a parent just spending a little time each day with their young one and doing these little, rituals or ceremonies to help them celebrate life. And when a loved one or a beloved pet does pass, that they do know in their heart that they're always around to ask questions, laugh with, cry with, talk to, ask for guidance. And just the beauty of that. Of course, when a loved one does pass, we always have to go through grief, and it's so painful. But I really do believe that if children from a very young age they already know this, but if we help them to remember and at the same time help our own inner child come out and to remember that humanity would change, because that teaches us how to live also with that love is the most important thing, and how we treat others. So I started my podcast, Interviews with Innocence, and I've been able to interview just amazing people about science, mysticism, mediums, philosophy, medical intuitives like yourself, and it's brought me not only so much comfort, but I feel like I'm just planting a seed, and it is to help bring out our inner child and also to celebrate our children. And I recently just published a book too, and it is named Love Magic. And like yours, I love the colorful illustrations, and I have a lot of those too. And it is about a little girl who's had a loved one pass, and all the beautiful signs, synchronicities, and energy through music and art, and feeling with the heart and trusting that intuition. And her grandma helps her remember all of that, and to know that her beloved Pop, who is the one who's gone to heaven, that's the word I like to use, is always there for her. And she always remembers what he said to her, which was the most important thing in life is not what we see with our eyes, but what is felt with our hearts. So that's what the feeling is all about. And I just want to plant a seed in this world to just celebrate our children and help them to once again, they teach us more than we teach them, actually, but that love is what is most important, and to carry that throughout the day with us every single day. And it sounds Pollyanna, but even when people have hard times and are suffering, to go back and know that there's a higher power, there's something bigger than ourselves to go to and to be able to trust and sink into. I really feel like it could change, or it will change the world. So that's the work that I'm doing now.
Well, and I agree with you that these kids come in more advanced, because how many toddlers have we seen that they just learned how to walk, and they can't talk in sentences yet. They may know a few words, but they know how to use an iPad better than I know how to use an iPad. And I just look at them and I think, how can that be? But it's because of all of the experiences of those of us that are living now and have lived before us. They come in and they just know how to do all this stuff. It's remarkable. So, Marla, tell everybody how they can find you. Oh. Yeah, tell everybody how they can find you. Go ahead.
Yes, you can go on my website. interviewswithinnocence.com. And also my podcast is called, as you said, Julie, Interviews with Innocence, and it's on all the platforms that podcasts live on. And that my personal email is marlahughes116@gmail.com. So I really encourage everyone to reach out to me. I'd love to hear your stories talking about young ones, how many times they talk about choosing their parents or talk about a past life and remembering things, that happened before they came to this earthly realm. And it's time that those things, got out into the world. So if you have a story, or if you want to learn more about my book, or want to just share, if you've had a loved one pass, please reach out to me. I would just be honored to talk to you.
Well, and the links to our chat on your show the links are on all of my social media, and they'll be in the show notes as well. So, and it's Interviews with Innocence, INNOCENCE. The word innocence, not innocence
Correct.
the people. It's innocence like, innocence the feeling. So, Marla, thanks so much. Happy holidays to you and yours.
You're welcome. Happy holidays.
Thanks. Everybody stay with us. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll get some callers on, and we'll see what their questions are and see what Spirit has to say for answers. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Let's go to the phones. We got a bunch of callers tonight, so I'm going to get as many on as I can. Our first one's Jen. Hi, Jen.
How you doing, Julie? Nice to speak to you.
Thank you. You too. I'm well, thanks. Where are you located?
I'm in Warwick, Rhode Island.
Okay, terrific. Well, are you ready for the holidays?
Yes, gearing up. Moving along quickly with that.
I know. We got a week, right? It's like you gotta figure out the logistics of it all, right? Yeah. I've started making lists of things. That's right. Well, good. Well, you got a question for me?
I do. I had wanted to ask. I've had some issues with my abdomen. I've found that I've not been able to lose weight, even though I've been putting the effort behind it. And I've realized I've had more bloating as of late, and even along with that, I've had some nausea, which I typically don't experience. So I just wondering if you might be able to scan me or give me some thoughts on what could be going on.
Absolutely. Yes. How young are you, Jen?
I'm sorry?
How young are you?
Oh, I'm 60.
Okay. All right. Here we go. What I'm going to do, for those of you that are first-time listeners, is I raise my vibrational level to the level of spirit. And I learned how to do all this stuff. I'm a businesswoman who learned how to do woo-woo, and, I am a buffet of psychicness. And so I teach this stuff to people, too, all over the world. So I raise my vibrational level. I'm going to watch a laser beam come from my body here in Birmingham, Alabama. It's going to hook into you up in Rhode Island, and then I'm going to have a hologram of you in my mind's eye. And it's going to be as if I'm looking at an X-ray or a CT scan or an MRI. What I'm going to do is something will be identified, and then there'll be an energetic healing that will begin. It's spirit working through me and with me. My analogies sometimes are really hilarious, so prepare yourself. I may tell you a body part looks like a bowl of whipped cream or something crazy, but it's just to give you an idea of what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. And it's an analogy to help us understand from our human frame of reference what's happening on the energetic level. So that's what we're going to do. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading north. Here we go. All right, got you, shooting energy. So you have gas and bloating. You have bubbles in your stomach, girl. Like bubbles from a bubble bath, or those things you can blow those little deals, and you blow it through a hole and the bubbles come out, those bubble wand things. So that's yeast. That's an overgrowth of yeast. And what you need to do on that is stay low on the food chain. If God made it, eat it. If man made it in a factory, do your best to avoid it, because yeast loves anything with sugar. Great season to avoid sugar, right? But just get through the holidays and then do what you need to do. And then stay away from fermented foods. Again, I know it's the holidays, so get through the holidays and then And then stay away from fermented foods, wine, beer, alcohol, kimchi, sauerkraut, yogurt, vinegar, soy sauce. Stay away from that stuff. Not for life, just in the short run. If you're going to have fruit, peel it because there's tons of yeast on the peel. Freeze and reheat leftovers. And get a hold of nystatin, which is an antifungal that kills yeast on contact, Nystatin. It's a prescription, so you'll need to ask your doctor for it. Mm-hmm. And then email me, Jen, julie@askjulieryan.com, and I'm going to send you a link for a gut biome test. And that's a fancy name for a poop test. And it's going to tell you not only what the critters are in your gut. We all have trillions of critters that make up the ecosystem in our gut. And by the way, that's where our immune system is based. But also it's going to tell you based on that what your superfoods are, what to incorporate into your diet, what to avoid. Some foods you may be eating may be really healthy, but they're just not healthy for you right now. And then everything else. So email me. Anybody listening that wants the gut biome test, email me, julie@askjulieryan.com. I'll send you the link. It's for a little bit of a discount, and that will help. In the meantime, I shot some energetic estrogen into you, Jen, and I think you can benefit from some bioidentical hormones. Do you know what those are?
No.
All right. It's the hormones that our bodies make when we're young and fertile and able to pop out babies. As we age, our hormone levels diminish, and Mother Nature says, we don't really need her anymore because she's not propagating the species. And that's when degenerative things start to happen to our bodies. So we can fool Mother Nature, make her think we're 30 when we're 60, and do that with bioidentical hormones. Synthetic hormones have a formula that has extra molecules added to it so they can be patented. Those are the ones you want to stay away from. You want to use the bioidentical hormones. So I would call a compounding pharmacy in your area. Do you know what that is, a compounding pharmacy?
Yes.
Yeah. It's for those of you that don't, it's a pharmacy that makes medicine for patients, doesn't just pour them out of a big pill bottle into a smaller pill bottle, stuff made by Big Pharma, but they're compounding it, they're mixing it up for the individual patients. Call them, Jen, and just ask who's doing bioidentical hormones in your area, and they'll give you the name of the doctors. Okay, so that's a lot I just threw at you. You may need to listen to the replay on this to get it all, but yeah, email me and I'll send you that link.
I was writing like a crazy woman.
Oh, good. Wonderful.
Fabulous.
Well, thanks for calling. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Julie. Have a wonderful...
You will.
Yeah, same to you. Thanks so much.
All righty. Bye-bye. All right, let's go to Rosa next. Hi, Rosa.
Hi, Julie. Happy holidays, and thank you for taking my call.
You are welcome. Where are you located?
I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
All righty. Terrific. You have a question for me?
Yes, Julie.
You know what, Rosa? I'm going to have to hold you for a minute because I hear my music from my man Blake, the man behind the curtain. And that's my cue that we need to take a quick commercial break. So when we come back, we'll find out what Rosa's question is and find out what the answer is from Spirit. Stay with us, everybody. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, we were talking with Rosa in Jacksonville, Florida. So, Rosa, you still with us?
Yes, I'm here, Julie.
Terrific. You bet.
So,
you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question. So, Mom is in a nursing home under hospice care with dementia. She is nonverbal, and I just...
Did we lose you? Oh, there you are.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
She's in transition. What can you tell me about what's happening with her since she's not, she's nonverbal? How is there anything else I need to do for her? Is there anything else she wants? What's happening? Pretty much what's happening with her?
What's her name, Rosa?
Her name is Magali.
Magali, spell it for me.
Yes. Spell it is Magali.
Magali, just like it sounds. All right. Okay. So what I'm going to do, Rosa, is I'm going to connect to you and from you to your mama, Magali. So here we go. Here comes my laser beam heading south, going behind me in Alabama. Not too many places are south of me in the U.S., but Florida's one of them. Actually, southeast of me. Okay. Got you. Got your mom. She's in phase 9 of 12 of the 12 phases of transition, Rosa. For those of you that don't know what that is, as we're dying, we all are surrounded by angels and deceased loved ones and the spirits of deceased pets. And they take on a different configuration as the person approaches death. And so we're surrounded by a circle of angels. That circle opens up into a horseshoe, eventually in a straight line across the foot of the person's bed. We all go through the 12 phases, Rosa, whether we die instantly in the case of a homicide or suicide, or whether we die over a prolonged period of time. And Rosa, has your mom been incommunicative for quite a while because of her dementia, or just because of her end of life stage, or both?
No. Well, right now, for a few months now, it's been because of her end of life.
Okay.
Most recently, yeah. And,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, let's
She's
ask her the
to
3 questions. Yeah. She can hear you. So talk to her, either aloud or in your head. Her spirit can hear you. And she can hear you too, even though she can't talk. What's that? Say that again.
I am so glad. I am so glad she can hear me. And there are times that she can, I just have to get close to her and tell her that I'm her daughter, and that constantly tell her how much I love her and thank you. And I'm so glad, to have this moment with her, but she's not eating or drinking very little, and she's bed bound, and also
that's good.
She's
trying to check out,
come with it, and all that. So.
Yeah, she's trying to check out, and so
is.
That's natural. I'm glad you've got hospice involved. So let's ask her the 3 questions I always ask somebody when they're transitioning, and those are: number 1, are you ready to go? She says yes. Are you in pain? She said no. And then, do you need anything? For them to know that I'm going to be fine and I'll be around them. I think so often when we're losing someone, we are afraid for them. But the end of life, they're ready to roll, and they know. And she can see her deceased loved ones around her, and she can see the angels. So it's way harder on those of us that are left behind.
She could see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she mentioned something like, her mom's name, call her like mommy, and it's like her brother. And I'm like, okay, I read your book, so it's like that was a humongous help to have an understanding of, what she's going through and what's happening with her.
Right.
So thank you for that. I thought it was, I highly recommend it for anyone who's going through something like this.
Yeah. So all you have to do, Rosa, is just ask, what phase is my mom in? You're going to get a number that will come in your head within a second. Look at my website, AskJulieRyan.com, the 12 phases.
Right.
There'll be an illustration of it. And you've got the book, so you can look in the book, too. And that'll help give you some information, too. So good luck to you and your family. And look for the little miracles along the way, because they'll be plentiful. So hang in there and just keep talking to her. And tell her it's okay for you to go. Say, Mom, it's okay for you to go. We're going to be fine. Okay. Thanks, Rosa. Okay. Hang in there.
I will.
All righty. Let's go to Julie next. Hi, Julie. Hi, Julie. Are you there? You got to get off mute. Okay. Well, let me go to Lori. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, girl?
Hello?
Hi.
I'm great. Thank you.
Terrific. Please tell everybody where you're located.
I'm calling from in San Diego, California.
Wonderful. Beautiful place.
It definitely is, yes.
When I first moved to LA, I grew up in Ohio, Lori, and then I lived in South Dakota for my first job out of school for 3 winters, which felt like 25 years. And I swear I'd never live where it snowed again, and I haven't. But when I lived in LA, I moved from South Dakota to LA. I remember my first Christmas. I remember driving around thinking, these guys are pretending. It's like 75 and sunny and there are palm trees. This isn't Christmas. And I flew back to Ohio for the actual day. But it was funny. If you grow up like that, with snow and cold weather, and then you're in the tropics and you're thinking, these guys are just pretending that it's Christmas. So fun. Yeah. Well, you got a question for me?
I do. I was listening to one of your older podcasts, and there was a mom that had a son that had Tourette's and was asking if you could help him. And you went into his energy field membrane and looked for what was going on with that. And unfortunately, I have had Tourette's since I was a kid, and I haven't really gotten much help at the medical field. And I was wondering if you could look at my energy field membrane and see if maybe something could help me there.
Yes, absolutely. So what I'll do is I'm going to connect into you, Lori, and then as I mentioned before, I'll have a hologram of you in my mind's eye, and then we'll see what comes up. Here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama to San Diego. I just head straight west on Interstate 10 and then dip down a little bit from LA to San Diego, and there we are. All right, got you. Shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. There are 3 strands of DNA that have come out of an X chromosome with you. I'm watching the nucleic acids get rearranged. A strand of DNA is DNA is the recipe that tells our cells how to behave, and DNA is made up of nucleic acids, and there's 4 of them, and they're represented by 4 letters, A, T, C, and G. Now, a strand of DNA can have 100,000 letters on it. It can have 1 billion letters on it. And regardless of how many letters are on it, I'm watching them get rearranged. Imagine playing Scrabble in warp speed. That's what I'm watching. And the strands look like pieces of paper you'd see inside a fortune cookie with the fortune written on them. So once they're done reconfiguring, they snap back in. Most situations that we have, whether they're illnesses or diseases, very few of them are hereditary. Most of them are environmental exposure to something, and it can cause a mutation in the DNA. So I watch the DNA get returned to a normal recipe. Does that make sense? The first 2 strands have already snapped back in. 3rd strand's reconfiguring.
Yes,
does that make sense, Lori?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So 3rd strand just went.
Is it possible that it was a trauma that could have caused the Tourette's issue?
Perhaps what I'm getting is it's more of a chemical.
Versus the DNA?
It's more of a chemical
okay.
exposure to something.
Okay.
So hopefully that will help you feel better.
Okay.
I would love to have you for an hour. If you schedule a private appointment, and then I'll have you for a whole hour, and then we can do a deep dive and see what else is going on, and see what we can do to help you. We being spirit working through me and with me. I don't have a mouse in my pocket. And when you get on my calendar, Lori, just get on my calendar whenever the next time is available that works with your schedule. And then you're going to get an email that's a confirmation email, and it'll have a little reschedule button on it. Keep the confirmation email, and when you think about it, click the reschedule button, because people reschedule all the time, and you'll have the opportunity often to get an earlier appointment. You can change to an earlier appointment. And it happens every week. I have people say, "Okay, I did what you told us on your show," and they get in within a day. or within a couple of days of when they're checking. So just get on my calendar, and then we can move you around once you're on it. So I would love to have you for a whole hour.
Great.
Okay. Thanks for calling.
Thank you
Happy
so much.
holidays.
I appreciate it.
You are most welcome. Bye. All right. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll see who's next and see what their question is. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show, so stay with us, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's go back to the phones and see who's next. I believe it's Catherine. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm all right.
Terrific. Where are you located?
I am in Greenville, South Carolina.
Greenville. I love that place. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. You got a question for me?
I do. So I have a relationship question for you. I am in a place in my relationship where I'm not sure whether to stay or go. His actions and words obviously like they contradict themselves, and I guess I just wanted to get your read if he is being faithful or if he's committed to me and in this relationship. Like, is he fully in this or not?
Mm-hmm. Can you give us his first name?
Yes, it's Marcus.
Marcus. And how long have you and Marcus been together?
We've been on and off for 4 years now.
Okay. All right. So here's how we do this. You just ask, is it in my best interest to remain in a romantic relationship with Marcus? Because we want to be really specific, Catherine, because Spirit's very literal. And how they're always going to give us a correct answer, but how applicable it is going to be predicated on how we ask the question. So is it in Catherine's best interest to stay in a romantic relationship with Marcus? What's the first thing that pops in your head before you even think about it? You asked that question. You got a no? I got a yes. I got a yes.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. So let's ask, let's refine it down. Is it in Catherine's best interest to remain in a committed romantic relationship with Marcus through the end of the year? Yes. Into next year? Yes. For as long going forward as it works? Yes. Is Marcus faithful? Is Marcus being faithful to Catherine? I get a yes. So what are you finding that's giving you cause for pause?
I think just the way the relationship has, the things that have happened. There's been a lot of rockiness and back and forth, and he has not been faithful in the past. So we're working through that now, and it's hard for me. I require a lot of reassurance from him, and he doesn't like to give it to me. So that's been rough.
Okay. You know about my 2-minute rule? Have you heard of my 2-minute rule? This would be really helpful for you. When you have a thought that feels neutral or good, you're in alignment with your spirit. When you have a thought that feels badly, you're out of alignment. So thoughts that feel badly are based in fear, always. 2 kinds of fear: rational fear, irrational fear. Rational fear, change the conditions because something's going to hurt you or kill you. Irrational fear is fake news. It's false. We're making it up. So when you have a thought that feels bad, like, I don't know if I trust him because he's been unfaithful in the past, and, you'll have a thought that leads to another thought that leads to another thought that leads to another thought before you feel awful because you're in this black hole of thoughts that feel bad. And so when you have that first thought come in, and, thoughts don't originate in our heads, they originate in the ethers, and we pull them in based on what we're thinking about. It's like they're broadcast on a radio station. So you just ask, is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? That's why I call it the 2-minute rule. So when you're questioning his loyalty, is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? And it's a yes or no answer. And if it is, if you get a yes, get out of the road before the bus runs you over. If you get a no, it's an irrational fear based in a limiting belief that's false. So,
Okay.
you want to ask, is it going to kill me? If it is, change the conditions. If it isn't, move forward. What happens when you do that, Catherine, is you get back into alignment with your spirit, and then you're going to get some kind of inspiration. Like, I need to check this, or I need to look at this, or whatever. And what you're being led to do, if it feels bad, do the 2-minute rule again. You can do it unlimited times a day. It's free and it's convenient because it works anywhere your brain is. So we're supposed to live in joy. All right? When you feel bad, that's an indicator from our internal GPS system saying, hey, it's worth looking at this. Does that make sense? Do you want to practice?
Mm-hmm.
You want to practice on one?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
So what's a question? Ask a question. Or what's a thought that you have that makes you feel badly with relation to Marcus?
I guess if he's attracted to someone else, or I don't know. I guess
everybody's attracted to somebody else. Everybody's attracted to somebody else. Yeah. So be more specific.
I mean, if he's
not a question, just a thought that you have that makes you feel badly.
If he'll leave me for someone else, he's done in the past.
Okay, so if Marcus leaves you for somebody else, is that going to kill you in the next 2 minutes?
No, it's not.
No. Yeah, right? Because when we have those fears and they're based on irrational beliefs, based in limiting beliefs that are false, that cause irrational fear that are false, we have that, oh my God, if he leaves me, I'm not going to be able to survive, and then I'll be by myself and I'll never find anybody else, blah, 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 and you're making all this stuff up. So we always say, use your imagination to envision things that you want instead of things that you don't want. And then what happens when you do that, Catherine, is you're resonating on that frequency, and then you're going to attract more of what you're thinking about, whether it feels good or not. If you're thinking, oh, he's going to leave me, oh, I don't trust him, oh, what if he leaves me? Well, you're attracting more experiences because that's what you're thinking about, because that's how we create, is with our thoughts. So change the thought, change the channel, like you change the radio station, and go to, all right, well, if he leaves me, okay, then I'm not supposed to be with them and I'll be with somebody else.
Right.
See how much calmer that feels?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, instead of making stuff up. Plus, I'm a sorority advisor at the University of Alabama. Volunteer. I've done it for 13 years. So thousands of girls have gone through. And I was an advisor when I lived in UCLA. So I hear lots of stories about broken hearts. And I always tell my girls, I just want you to remember one 4-letter word. Same applies to you. Are you ready for the 4-letter word? It's next.
Mm-hmm.
Next. Who's next? And then you move on. So, all right. Just remember next. That wonderful 4-letter word. Okay. Well, happy holidays. 2-minute rule and next, girl. You got all you need. Take care. Okay, everybody, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll see who's next. Stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Welcome back, everybody. We do this show every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific, except for the next 2 weeks because it's going to be the holiday. But I have great shows pre-recorded for this next week, Christmas week, and then the week between Christmas and New Year's. The one next week's going to be Dream Interpretation with Monica Lever, and she is going to interpret one of my dreams that I've had multiple times, and that's really fun. And then the following week is going to be with a psychic who's also a lawyer, practicing lawyer, and his name's Jason Zook, and we have a really lively discussion too. So I've got them all pre-recorded and teed up for you, so I hope you enjoy listening to them as much as I did talking with these two guests. All right. The call-in number when we do a live show is 667-770-1476, and the access code is 483620#. This information is available on my website, AskJulieRyan.com, and in the show notes. You can download the show anywhere you get your podcasts, and we're also on YouTube and Alexa. So please remember to subscribe and leave a review at ratethispodcast.com/Julie. Again, that's ratethispodcast.com/Julie. And if you leave a review, then I choose a winner from the reviews each month on the first Thursday of the month, and you get a free 1-hour session with me valued at a couple $100. So I'm trying to get you a free thing here, but I just need you to do something little for me because it helps people find us when you leave a review. Call-in details can also be found on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest at Ask Julie Ryan. So all my social media is at Ask Julie Ryan. My website's AskJulieRyan.com. My channel on YouTube is Ask Julie Ryan, so I'm trying to make it easy. Now, we'll post a reminder the day of the show with all of the call-in information. And next week and the following week, we'll post a reminder saying, hey, there's not a live show, but listen to Monica or listen to Jason. While you're on my website, AskJulieRyan.com, be sure to sign up for my weekly newsletter. It's a question somebody has submitted online, and then my answer. And in the body of the email, I always put, remember to call in. Here's the call-in information. So there's that too. Well, also while you're on my site, as I was mentioning to one of our callers earlier, just get on my schedule. Get on my calendar. Save your confirmation email. Check the reschedule button. And then we'll be able to move you around if something else opens up. But you got to get on my calendar first. So do that. And then angelic attendant training, it's fall for next year. I've started scheduling in the last session of next year. January's fall, April's fall, July's fall. I have 2 people signed up for October of 2022 already. But the good news is I am coming out, hopefully in January, I'm working on it, an online self-paced training that's kind of like a little mini training of how to talk with spirit and the 12 phases of transition. So more to come on that when that's ready to go. So stay tuned. Had to get the book out, only so many hours in the day for all this jazz. Okay, the question this week is from Brian, and Brian lives in Duleek, I think I'm saying that right, Duleek, Meath, Ireland. And he asked, hi, Julie, I have a hernia in my stomach and I have difficulty swallowing. If you could do something for it, that would be great. Thanks, Brian. Short and sweet and to the point. Here's my response. You can tell he's a guy. Women say a lot more words than guys do. I think it's like 2.5 times more words in a day than guys do. That's why we need girlfriends, so we can talk amongst ourselves. All right, here's my response. Hi, Brian. I'll be delighted to help you any way I can. First, I energetically connected to you in Ireland and saw in my mind's eye a hiatal hernia on the left side of your esophagus. Then I watched, again in my mind's eye, a healing happen where the hiatal hernia was removed and energetic stem cell energy was used to heal your esophageal tissue. Next, I checked your GI tract and saw an inguinal hernia in your lower abdomen. That's where the intestine's starting to poke out in between the muscles. A hiatal hernia looks to me more like a sore in the esophagus. The inguinal hernia, I think I'm saying that right, is where part of it's starting to bulge out a little bit. It too was repaired with an energetic healing. It has been my experience that healings happen on the energetic level and integrate into the body. This can happen instantly, take days, weeks, or months, and may need complementary help in the form of Western medicine or Eastern medicine, if that's your preference. In your case, I believe it's in your best interest to consult with a medical doctor. In the meantime, do your best to stay low on the food chain. If God made it, eat it and avoid processed foods. Easier said than done at the holidays. I get that, but do as much as you can. Go nuts on Christmas if you need to, but then, go back to eating stuff that's healthy. Hope this helps you feel better. The thing about the hernias, especially in the lower abdomen, is if the intestines get strangled, I think is what they call it, you can be in a world of hurt. So I really think, Brian, it makes sense for you to go see a doctor and get some x-rays and do a consult and see what's recommended. And if you don't like what you hear, go get a second opinion or a third opinion. It doesn't matter. Just go see a doctor. I think that would warrant it. In the meantime, if you decide to have surgery, it's already happened on the energetic level. It's going to be a breeze. This happens all the time. I work with people before they have surgery. They go have the surgery and it's a breeze and they heal easier and quicker and all of that. Sometimes the energetic healing can fix whatever's going on, but certainly it's always helpful if it needs to happen on the physical plane too, to go see your doctor and let them help. That's all part of the healing equation. Okay, enough on that. Let's go back to the phones. Let me try Julie again, see if she's on this time. Hi, Julie, are you there?
Hi, yeah, I'm here.
Hi.
Sorry
oh, good.
About
Hi. I love your name.
I am calling because at work, they've kind of made me feel targeted, and some things make me feel a little discriminated against. It's become a micromanaging type, bullying type of environment. And I want to know if they have plans to just use me as a scapegoat. And I've been there for a very long time, almost a decade, and I feel like I'm without direction, and it has been pretty much, it felt like a torture chamber since March of this year. And
I'm sorry.
It weighed on me horribly, affecting my stress and my health. And they've proven time and time again to be people of zero compassion and like I said, to make me feel very targeted. I have the support of my colleagues who know me and know my work ethic and my love for my job, but I don't know what their plans are, if to get rid of me or and then I just need direction. I feel like I'm lost.
Okay. First of all, where are you located?
Yeah. Missouri.
Okay. All right.
St. Louis.
And what kind of business is it? Are you in healthcare?
It's in education.
Education. Okay. All right. And so what I talked about before with Catherine with the 2-minute rule, did you hear that? When I was talking with Catherine, the caller right before you. So you want to ask, you know, is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? If you lose your job, is that going to kill you in the next 2 minutes? Yes or no answer. What's the answer?
No.
No. Right. So it's an irrational fear. There's none of this no but thing. No, but this, and this can happen. It's yes or no. When you say no, you know it's a false fear based in a limiting belief. You raise your vibration level back to the level of spirit, you're going to have a thought come in. Maybe I talk to this person. Maybe I look on this website. Maybe I do this. Maybe I do that. And you gauge how you feel. Emotions are an internal GPS system for us, Julie. And they're, you know, when we're little, a lot of us are taught to control our emotions. We don't need to control our emotions. They're helpful. We need to control our thoughts, because thoughts originate outside of our heads, and we bring them in based on what we're thinking about. So you want to get back in alignment with your spirit. It's like change the radio station. And then the reason I always say is you got to get back in alignment to get guidance is because it's hard for spirit to communicate on the I feel crappy channels because the vibration's too low.
Yeah.
So, you know, let's ask some questions and we'll get some guidance for you. But see how much better you feel already when you say, is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes if I get fired? No. I mean, it's an immediate relief. And then you'll have a thought, oh, but how am I going to pay my bills? And then the next thought is, well, what if I can't pay my bills? Then I'll lose my home, and then I won't be able to buy groceries, and then I'm going to be a homeless person, and then I'll die alone and cold and out on the street. Really? No. Chances are no. But that's how our minds work, because we're hardwired for fear.
Right.
Right? So
Right.
I'm going to hold you over for the break. When we come back, we'll play with this a little bit.
Okay.
We'll ask a couple of questions, and I promise you'll feel better. Stay with us, everybody. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show, and when we come back, we'll talk to the other Julie. So you'll have Julie squared. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking with Julie from St. Louis about some job stuff going on. So we had talked about the 2-minute rule. Is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? Yes or no? If it's no, then you know it's fake. Fake news. And Julie, it ends up being that it's about 99.9% of the thoughts that we think that feel badly, they're fake. And so all we have to do is just get in the habit of using the 2-minute rule. I don't even do it anymore because I don't have to think about it. It automatically goes there. And I use it, maybe not every day, but I use it most days. And it's just remarkable. And then when you're on that frequency, you're going to have experiences that are going to match that frequency because that's what you're thinking about. So, all right, give me an example of something that gives you heartburn, that upsets you.
Something that they've done. They harassed me. They've actually harassed. And
this is your administrator?
Yeah.
Okay. So give us an example.
So not when I'm trying to say how I came prepared for a meeting, and she apparently decided that she enjoyed the sound of her own voice more and just kept talking over me and cutting me off, not letting me finish, and not only talking over me, but yelling at me. And another administrator knew that I had come prepared, and I could see on her face that she knew that I was in the right, and she said nothing, and she allowed the other administrator to continue harassing me and saying that I didn't come prepared when I did.
Okay, so number one, in that situation, if your administrator is harassing you in a meeting, saying you didn't come prepared, is that going to kill you in the next 2 minutes?
I don't know if I have a heart attack at my blood pressure.
Yeah, but like I said, it's just yes or no. There's no but.
Oh.
It's just yes or no. Is it going to kill you in the next 2 minutes if your administrator harasses you?
No.
In a meeting?
No.
No. All right. So you know it's a false fear. As soon as you ask that question, you get back into alignment. All right. And you'll have a thought like, maybe I need to keep my cell phone on and record this. Maybe I need to make really good notes. Maybe I need to go up the food chain to whoever her supervisor is, maybe the superintendent of that school district or somebody like that. There are all kinds of ideas that you can have that are going to come in when you're back in alignment. And those are going to be guidance. When we try and control the situation based on fear, we stay on a hamster wheel because we're trying to control something that's an illusion, right? Because the only thing that matters is, are you going to die or are you going to be seriously hurt in the next 2 minutes? If you are, change the conditions. If you aren't, get back into alignment, use the 2-minute rule. You'll have a thought that comes in like, I need to document this. I need to, and then you'll have another thought, and then a fear will come up. Oh, well, if I get in touch with the superintendent of schools about this, then they may blackball me and blah, 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 blah. Use the 2-minute rule again. If they blackball you and you lose your job, is that going to kill you in 2 minutes? No, it's not. Just keep using it. You can use it 1,000,000 times a day. You can use it unlimited. It's free. It's convenient. Works great. So there you have it, my girl. You have, that is an early Christmas present for you with your job. You just use the 2-minute rule. You're going to stay in alignment, and you're going to attract more things that are going to give you guidance of things that will benefit you. Okay? Good luck with that. Thanks for calling.
All right.
Bye. You bet. All right, let's go to Carly next. Hi, Carly. Hi, Carly. Are you there? Hello, hello.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yep, there you are. Hi, Carly.
Hi.
I love your name because it makes me think of Carly Simon, and I love Carly Simon.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you know who that is? Are you old enough to remember Carly Simon? To know who she is?
No, I'm not.
Oh, honey, look her up. Look her up online. She's amazing. She's a songwriter and singer. Yeah, she's amazing. So, where are you located?
I am in the Bay Area.
Okay, San Francisco?
Yeah, near San Francisco.
Okay, great. All right, you got a question for me?
I do. I have been having some gut health issues, and they've been pretty persistent for about the past 6 months or so, and I would love to get a scan and understand what's going on a little bit better.
Okay. All right. Let me get you on my radar. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading out to you in the San Francisco Bay Area. You guys are so funny up there. You always say the Bay Area. Well, there's lots of Bay Areas, but in San Francisco, that's what you say. And I know that because I lived in California a long time. But heading out to you in the San Francisco Bay Area. All right, got you. Shooting energy from your you're got yeast. You got yeast, my girl. Our first caller, Jen, were you on? Did you hear that when we talked about yeast and what to do about yeast?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Same applies to you. If you listen to the podcast, listen to our first caller, Jen, and I believe she was from Rhode Island, and that will be for you as well. So stay low on the food chain for the holidays. Take it easy on the processed stuff. Take it easy on the sugar and the alcohol. And, have fun on Christmas and on New Year's Eve and all of that. But don't go hog wild the rest of the time. And that'll help your stomach. Also, consider doing an appointment with me and we can do a deep dive. All righty?
Okay.
Thanks for calling.
Okay.
When we come back, we'll see who's next. I think it's Lynn. So, Lynn, get ready. Stay with us, everybody. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. And when we come back, we'll talk to Lynn and see what her question is. Be right back. Welcome back. Our next caller's Lynn. Hi, Miss Lynn.
Hi, Jolie.
How are you, girl?
Struggling?
You're struggling? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, honey, what's going on? Where are you, first of all? Where are you located?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
All right. What's happening? Why are you struggling?
Oh, on Sunday, it's going to be a year I lost my daughter.
Oh.
Boy. And I think I did the therapy stuff and I had a reading because she's also /psychic, and my therapist told me that if she didn't die, then that in her life review she would have. My therapist told me that she was going to die, like it's going to be long suffering from cancer. Okay, so then I was like, okay, well, she didn't suffer. And then I just did a reading again with that after data life research. And this lady told me that my daughter's stuck, that she hasn't had her life review because she's stuck, and that's why I can feel her all the time.
Oh, Lynn. All right. First of all, that is just total nonsense from both of those people. I don't know who they are, but they are just giving you a bunch of nonsense. First of all, everybody goes to heaven. Your daughter is not stuck. The bit about she's going to suffer from cancer in her future life, is that what I heard you say?
No, if she didn't, there's like checkpoints if you don't go, or that if she didn't, like if you don't.
That is nonsense as well. Nonsense. Total nonsense. Nonsense. Spirit is pure love, first of all. Secondly, we all decide when we go, where we go, how we go, who's with us when we go, what the circumstances are that surround our death. She's around you all the time. She's not suffering. She's not going to come back and go through something horrific because she didn't die of cancer this round. That is just nonsense. We come in with a script of something that we want to explore and experience, like you want to teach. Well, there are a bazillion ways you can teach. You can be a teacher in a school. You can teach in a corporation. You can teach online. You can write a book and teach that way. I mean, it doesn't matter. And then we'll repeat through multiple lifetimes different things that we want to explore. But all this bit about you got to come back and you got to learn your lessons or you're going to suffer, please. I think karma has been so bastardized over the years. Karma is about you want to come back and you want to explore something from a different perspective so that your spirit can expand. And you're like, oh, I'm looking at it from this perspective. So this makes me so mad, Lynn, that somebody has told you this stuff when you've lost your daughter and you're in a vulnerable state anyways. Forget all that nonsense. She is around you. She's with you. She's fabulous. She's in heaven. Let's talk to her. What's her name?
Okay. Tiffany.
Tiffany?
Yeah.
Tiffany, like breakfast at Tiffany's. I'm sorry, I'm getting so wound up. All my mama bear, all my mama bear protection comes out in this situation. It makes me nuts when people do this. So, all right, Tiffany. Tiffany is right to your right. You can talk to her anytime. All you have to do is say something to her in your head, and she's going to answer you in your head. It's going to feel like your thought. It's going to come in a nanosecond, Lynn, and Spirit's always going to give you a correct answer. Remember, how applicable it's going to be is going to be predicated on how you ask the question. So, do you have a question for her? Something to start the conversation?
I don't know what to. I would want to raise her babies, and I don't. We miss her and love her so much.
She knows you love her. So when she passed, she had a baby?
Oh, yeah, and then her birthday's the 23rd. She's number 19. Her birthday's December 23rd, and her baby is her birthday twin.
Okay, so how old's her baby?
Okay. Yeah. Well, he's 4 right now.
Okay. And is his dad raising him? Do you get to see him?
Yes. Yeah,
okay, what's his name?
Jackson and Ryder. Ryder's the little guy. Yeah. Jackson remembers being in heaven.
Oh, yeah. They all do. So get him a copy of my Angel Messages books. They will love them. Because it resonates with them, and the colors are really bright and colorful, and colors are colorful. I mean, that's kind of a oxymoron, isn't it? But yeah, they can do that. So, okay. So their dad's raising them, but you get to help?
I have them all week. I usually have them 3 days a week. But, yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, what a joy for you. So, do you give them candy? She's talking about stop giving them candy. Are you giving them candy? Are you giving those babies candy? All right. She's talking about stop giving them candy, Mom. Wait, did you give them a candy cane this week? Do you have candy canes?
No,
you're thinking it.
No, I don't have candy canes. My lights blinked when Ryder asked me for candy.
Yeah.
And I thought that might have been Tiff.
That's her. She's like, Mom, cool it on the candy. She's laughing. She's saying, we want them to be able to keep their teeth, at least until they get into school. She's got a sense of humor. Okay, so she is around you all the time. She's around the kids. The kids can see her. Talk to them about their mom. Talk to them about what they see. That's, again, why I wrote my children's books, so that it gives you an opportunity to begin the conversation with them. Because when we foster our children's imagination and their intuitive abilities, it serves them so well throughout their lifetime. So talk to them about Tiff, talk to them about, about her and how much she loves them and how she's around them all the time, and ask them, can you see her? You can talk to her. Just say something to her and she's going to answer you. And it'll feel like a thought in your head. And I talk about that in my children's books. So did you have another question for her?
I miss her and I love her and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I should have been there for her.
Yeah. She's saying it all unfolded perfectly. And that's hard for us to wrap our human minds around, Lynn, because we think, what do you mean it happened perfectly? She's not here and she's not taking care of her babies. But there's a bigger picture that's happening. Her spirit wanted to explore and experience this. Your spirit did. Her kids' spirits. Because we all choose when we're born, where we're born, to whom we're born, so our lives can have a basic trajectory, so we can explore and experience, what we want to in this life. And speaking of past lives, there may be several past lives in which she lost a child, or she was the doctor, or she was the grandparent of, or the friend of, or whatever. In this round, she wanted to explore it in this situation. So I hope that gives you some peace. That other stuff those people told you, forget it. It's nonsense. Not true. Fake news.
So much.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right.
All righty. Let's go to Arlene next. Hi, Arlene.
Hi, Julie. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Same to you. How you doing?
Good. I'm always pretty much doing good, but I'm calling about my dog, Uzo.
Okay. All right. Please tell everybody where you're located.
In Longmont, Colorado. He's an Australian Shepherd, and he's almost 14. And the last 2 days, he's been a little bit slow and weak, and he hasn't been eating very well. Just today, he perked up and started to eat a little better. And I was wondering if you could, scan his stomach and his liver and see how he's doing there. I know he had some few liver enzymes that were high, but they said there isn't much we're going to do with him. It didn't show any cancer or anything. Sometimes they say it's with aging, but he seems under the weather to me.
All right, tell me his name again, Arlene. You cut out a little bit.
Uzo.
Uzo. Okay, yeah, I've scanned Uzo before because we've done a private session
arthritis.
A while ago. Yeah.
And he's just, like we told him, it's not time to go over the holidays. Not now.
Oh, all right. It's like you have any control over that. Good luck with that, girl. Oh,
I don't.
I know. Yeah. All right. So I'm connected to you and from you to Uzo. All right. Got him. Well, his spirit's in his body, so he's not dying at the moment. So you got a good chance of him lasting for another week or two.
Okay, good.
Uzo, are you dying? No.
I have to find out.
He's saying no.
He's not.
No. You have to find out what?
Going on with his. I said I have to find out from you if his spirit is out of his body, because then I'll be like, okay, I'm going to make you as comfortable as possible. So, what is going on? What is he feeling? He just had I could barely get him to walk the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Today he's perked up.
He's saying making him as comfortable as possible is a good idea. I'm not really seeing anything. Arlene, I'm gonna hold you over for the break, and I'll scan him during the break, and we'll see what I can come up with, and I'll let you know. Stay with us, everybody. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show, and we'll see what's going on with Uzo. Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking with Arlene about her dog Uzo. Arlene, I got to scan him during the break, and his organs are starting to fail. They're starting to shut down. And so keep him comfortable. When you said, do I just need to keep him comfortable? I heard him say, yep, that would be great. So keep him comfortable. His spirit is in his body. He's not dying at the moment. So just baby him, keep him comfortable, give him lots of love, and enjoy him while he's around.
I have we give him something for pain. Remember you told me to change it because he said he was getting nauseous from Benadryl, and we put him on Galapants. Can you just ask him if that makes him nauseous?
I asked him, is that new medicine working? And I got a yes. So
it's working. He's not sick from it.
Yeah,
I remember
it's working.
Okay, perfect. Then I will continue.
So just enjoy him.
Day, so.
Okay. Enjoy him while you can.
We do every day.
All righty. Thanks for calling. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Let's go to Pam next. Hi, Pam.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm hoping you can help me out, Julie. Pam from Michigan.
Okay. What's going on?
Well, I just came down with COVID, and I got it from my granddaughter a couple of days ago. She's a year old. I was hoping that you could send me some healing and her, and also let me know what phase my mom Dodie's in. You let me know it's 5 a couple months ago.
Okay. All right. So I'm connecting into you first. Are you seeing a doctor? What are you doing for the COVID?
Well, I just went for the PCR test. I think that's what it is today. And they're going to see about antibodies starting the first of the week. I've got bad lungs.
Okay. You want to get a hold of some ivermectin and some hydroxychloroquine and get on that as soon as possible. You can make your own hydroxychloroquine, Pam, at home if you can't get a prescription for it. You take the rinds of 3 grapefruits, 3 lemons, put them in a saucepan, cover it with 3 inches of water, put the lid on it, let it simmer for 2 hours. When it's done simmering, do not remove the lid. Keep the lid on it. Just take it off the heat. Let it cool on its own. Strain the rinds out and take 2 tablespoons a day of that. That will help. You want to get somebody to recommend or to call in a prescription for you for ivermectin. It's really important to get on that quickly because it stops the virus from replicating. And the monoclonal antibodies are really good too. Get in there as fast as you can to get on those. Also, lots of vitamin C, lots of zinc. 1,000 milligrams of C, 50 of zinc at least 3 times a day. Okay? And you want to take a lot of D3. D3, you want to take 8 to 10,000 IUs of D3. You want to add K2 to it. Everybody that gets COVID that gets hospitalized is deficient in D. So you want to be sure you have D3, and that's going to help you get well. In the meantime, I'm getting rid of it in your system. And let me go to your granddaughter. What's her name, Pam?
Freddie. She's
Betty?
1 years old. She's near Detroit. Freddie.
Okay. She's going to be fine. Little kids and babies do great with this. I mean, it's just like a non-event for them. Yeah. Did you say your lungs are congested?
Well, I have a lot of scar tissue. You've been working on that. Last couple of times I've had sessions with you. I almost died in 2014 from severe pneumonia, so they kind of messed up my lungs.
Okay. All right. Good. See if you can get in to see the doctor before the 1st of next week. I would call around, see if you can get in before that. And your mom is Dodie, and let me see what's going on with her. So I'm connecting to her. She's in phase 7 of 12, Pam.
Okay.
So let's ask her the 3 questions. Are you ready to go? No. Are you in pain at times? What do you need? She's saying to get my affairs in order. Does she have all of her will and her paperwork and stuff ready to roll?
Yeah. She actually wanted me to give her the COVID so she could die faster. I don't know what's wrong with her. She wants to go with her husband.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something in her affairs that isn't right that she's concerned about.
Oh.
So do some nosing around.
She's confused, so it's hard to find out. She's really confused. She doesn't understand, anything right now.
Well, maybe you can look at her papers, look at her will and her living will and, medical power of attorney and all that jazz, and be sure that's all all in line. Okay. All right. Okay. Hope you feel better. Okay. Thanks, Pam. Feel better. All righty. Bye-bye. Okay, everybody, that's it. Not only for tonight, but for this year. My gosh, went fast, didn't it? And when we start the new year, we'll come in with a new show and new callers, and it's always fun to see what their questions are. Remember, Angel Messages for Cats, available now on Amazon. Go to AskJulieRyan.com. You'll see it there. There's a link there. If you can't remember the name of it, just go to AskJulieRyan.com and go to the books, and you'll see it there. And then in the meantime, remember, no live show next week, the week of Christmas, no live show the week of New Year's either. But I do have shows pre-recorded. Next week for Christmas, we're going to have Monica, who's a dream interpreter. You guys will love her. She's just a doll. And it's really fun to hear what she has to say about dreams. And you'll learn a lot. And I bet some of the dreams that you've had will resonate when she explains, what different things mean. And then she explains what a dream that I've had for years and years and years means. We dissect it. And so that's kind of fun. And then the week of New Year's, we're going to have Jason Zook, who's a lawyer, and he calls himself the social psychic. So he is really an interesting guy, and we have a really lively discussion. So those will be 2 really fun shows for you to listen to as well. So thank you for being a part of this community. Thank you for listening to the show and calling in. I'm sending you all the love in the world from Sweet Home, Alabama. Mwah. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, enjoy your family, and I'll see you next year. Bye, everybody.
Be sure to follow Julie on Instagram and YouTube at Ask Julie Ryan, and like her on Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. To schedule an appointment or submit a question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.
This show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be medical, psychological, financial, or legal advice. Please contact a licensed professional. The Ask Julie Ryan Show, Julie Ryan and all parties involved in producing, recording, and distributing it assume no responsibility for listeners' actions based on any information heard on this or any Ask Julie Ryan shows or podcasts.